If I had to narrow down my Sephora VIB sale recommendations into only 10 new products out of the countless new launches I've tried, it would be these. Last year, I shared a couple different Sephora VIB sale master lists. I started off with my #1 recommendation in every single category, and then after that, for the next sale, posted my top few recommendations for every category. Since then, there have definitely been several new launches that I really love, but I still don't feel like enough has changed from those master lists yet for me to be able to revisit those videos without it feeling like a copy paste. Maybe by the spring 2026 VIB sale video, but not quite yet. So to spare you guys from the repetition, I am going to do the exact same thing that I did for my last VIB sale video. Share my top 10 new favorites here today, and then link my old videos and product shelves with my longtime top picks in every beauty category in the description box below. So let's jump into my new top 10, starting off with skincare. Korean skincare brands are continuing to launch in US retailers, and one of the most recent that I have seen in Sephora is Beauty of Joseon. The assortment of products available is still relatively limited, but one of those products is actually something that I had already started testing out a bit ago that I've really been enjoying. It's their Glow Replenishing Rice Milk Toner. This is described as a hydrating balancing toner with an innovative dual layer formula that helps intensely moisturize while balancing sebum for skin that's glowy, not greasy. I had been looking into the different K-beauty rice toners that people love for a while. I know that there are a handful that are really popular in addition to this one, like I'm From, Haru Haru Wonder, and Anua. And what ultimately sold me on trying this one from Beauty of Joseon over those other options is that sebum balancing claim and the fact that this is supposed to be a bit more oily skin friendly. I've told you guys in previous videos that ever since turning 30, I feel like I have teenager skin again. I'm more oily than I have been in years. I'm more acne prone than I have been in years. So I've been making some tweaks to my skincare routine to try to help to deal with that, and this is one of those changes. The main ingredients that they highlight in this include rice extract, rice amino acids, and a sebum control powder. I'm guessing that at least part of that sebum control powder is kaolin or clay, and then on top of that, for the hydration, replenishing, glow, there are a handful of extracts like Japanese gold thread root, almus, amaranth seed, and fig fruit, in addition to Centella asiatica, hyaluronic acid, panthenol, licorice root, and ceramide NP. And this is fragrance and essential oil free. Some of the toners I played around with before have a little bit of slip to them, but this really doesn't have any at all. It's so light and liquidy that it really feels water-like to me. Because of that and the fact that this hydrates without making my skin look greasier as the day goes on, I find that I can really layer anything that I want on top of this. Skincare, tinted sunscreen, makeup, and everything works beautifully. So I have really been enjoying this, even though it looks like I haven't put a dent in it. It's been over a month that I've been using this, and that is all that's gone because of how liquidy it is. Like, I feel like this is gonna take me forever to empty. But if you can relate to my struggle of suddenly getting greasier and trying to figure out new skincare products that not only play nicely with that issue, but also help with that issue, then this is definitely something worth looking into. Another skincare brand that recently launched in Sephora is Experiment, and I was really excited to see that because they're a super innovative brand that was founded by two chemists. They have some really cool, unique products that I have just kind of started playing around with the exception of this one that I have almost completely used up. It is their Molecular Mesh Barrier Strengthening Moisturizer. This is described as an intensely moisturizing facial cream that hydrates, soothes, and supports skin's natural repair processes with a semi-rich, breathable texture. The ingredients that they highlight in this include centella liposomes, phytosphingosine, ectoin, 10% glycerin, and diglycerin. This ingredient, which I still have not figured out how to pronounce, but I do know has anti-inflammatory and calming properties and is responsible for the blue color of this, squalane, phospholipids, and this is fragrance and essential oil free. If you watched my most recent nighttime skincare routine where I talked about this for the first time, then you might remember that I had a really hard time describing the texture of this, and I still do. I really can't think of another moisturizer that I could compare this to. It's that unique to me. They describe it as a stretchy emulsion, and they also say it's semi-rich, breathable, powerful yet lightweight, silky, stretchable, melts into skin. I would agree with all of that. You kind of just have to try it out for yourself to know, but I think the uniqueness of it is one of the things that I love about it the most and why I have almost completely used this up. Really, the only reason why it's not gone by now is because I was saving a tiny little bit to be able to show you what it looks like for this video. Last for skin is a new acne treatment from The Ordinary Ordinary. This is their Sulfur 10% powder to cream concentrate. The Ordinary describes this as a fast yet gentle acne treatment that utilizes colloidal sulfur, which has a smaller particle size to help provide effective delivery and minimize the visibility and odor of the ingredient. If you have not tried a sulfur containing product before, then you may not know that it notoriously stinks of rotten eggs. I have recommended the sulfur acne treatment from De La Cruz before, and that one definitely stinks. This is not scentless, like it's not like you can't smell the sulfur at all. You definitely can, but I do feel like it's a bit more faint. It's a bit more tolerable. I'll get like whiffs of it here and there, but I'm not smelling it the entire time it's on. In addition to that 10% sulfur, this also contains kaolin, niacinamide, L-carnitine, and poly-L-lysine. What I surprisingly love most about this is the fact that it's a powder. The De La Cruz treatment is more of a lotion, and it's kind of like a yellowy green color, so it looks gross when it's sitting on your skin. It's definitely not something that you want to just like leave on all day or leave on in public. This solves that issue because it's a powder. I find that it kind of just like melts down and disappears onto my skin and looks like nothing. But on top of that, there's also something about this that kind of camouflages breakouts. Part of the reason for that is that it immediately mattifies the area, which I find in and of itself helps to kind of just tone things down, make them less apparent. There's also something about this that makes the redness of a breakout less intense for me. I don't know, again, there's just something kind of camouflaging about this that makes me love it even more because I'm getting that camouflaging effect while treating the spot. So definitely a new favorite. And the other thing I almost forgot to mention about it is that you can wear it under makeup, which is not something that you can do with a lot of other acne treatments. So I love that about it as well. All right, let's move on to makeup. First up is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Liquid Blurring Balm. This spray is described as a weightless blurring setting spray powered by Upsolite to set makeup and refine texture. I don't really use it for texture blurring. I don't know that I notice that a ton on my skin. I mean, if anything, I guess it's blurring because it's mattifying, but the mattifying ability is really why I love this so much and why I have not stopped reaching for it. So this immediately mattifies the look of anything greasy or shiny on your skin, skincare, sunscreen, makeup, and it not only does that right away, but it lasts all day long. So I have tried this out a few different ways. I have worn it on top of sunscreen that looks greasy, and it helps to just take away that shine, keep me looking not like dry all day, but just not greasy. I mean, if you spray a lot of this on, you can definitely start to look dry. So keep that in mind. It's one of those sprays that I feel is like, what am I trying to say? The mattifying effect is amplified the more that you spray on. So if you want to be like extra matte to the point of almost starting to hit dry, maybe you're like so oily that's what you want, you can get that with this. Otherwise, I find that with just a few sprays, I get the effect that I want without getting to that point, and it's something that I've used in a variety of ways. First is on top of a greasy looking sunscreen. It deletes that grease. It's so amazing. I also use this on top of foundations that tend to get greasier on me as the day goes on. There are definitely a lot of foundations that I really love the look of at first, but just with all day wear look too greasy and shiny on me. This solves that. And this also just helps to keep makeup locked in place all day. I feel like whenever I use this, by the end of the day, my makeup still looks fresh. This is one of those products where I'm like, where have you been all my life? Well, not all my life, since I'm just recently greasy again. Maybe like, where have you been since I turned 30? It's so good. Next is a new favorite foundation. This is the Benefit Porefessional Foundation. It's described as a smoothing. In case you guys are wondering, it has taken me, where are we at? Like an hour and a half to get to this point in the video. I know. For whatever reason, both Finn and Elsie are just going through a phase right now where they're waking up and like moving around quite a bit in the middle of the night, and I'm a super light sleeper, so anytime one of them moves, I wake up. And Finn has also been having to go potty in the middle of the night for the past few nights, so I'm struggling. It's fine. I'm fine. We're fine. He's sweet and sleepy right now and on my lap, so it's okay. You're so sweet, buddy. You're lucky. You're so cute. Where were we? So this is supposed to be a smoothing, blurring, medium weightless coverage, 24-hour wear, all-day pore refining foundation. I feel like a lot of foundations and skin tints recently claim to be smoothing, blurring, and just don't deliver on that. Like I'll do split face tests and I'm like, I see no difference. This is one of the very few I've tried within the past over a year that I feel actually delivers that really well. There's just something about it that makes my skin look perfected. Things look smoother. I just really love the way it makes my skin look. So if you are looking for a skin perfecting foundation that is medium to full coverage, doesn't look too cake-upy, I told you I'm struggling. Cakey or makeup-y, too intense, and lasts really well with all day wear. Definitely give this a go. Next is the powder that I have been pairing with that foundation nonstop. It is the One Size Boucle Silk Cellulose Airbrushed Powder. This feels super soft, silky, lightweight. It's definitely not one of those baked powders that is super dry and powdery. And on my skin, I think it just has that like softly blurred airbrushed finish that is so, so beautiful, especially when I pair it with this Benefit foundation. These have just been a match made in heaven for me over the past couple months. If you are someone that needs a powder to give you all day oil control, then this would not be the powder for you. It's not something that I look greasy with, but it's just not one of those like mattifying all day powders. It's also not going to be for you if you're looking for something that adds luminosity. They do claim that it does that. I don't notice that with it at all. Again, the effect that I get is more just like softly diffused and airbrushed, which I think is stunning and why I love it so much. Next is one of the newest shades in the Rhode Pocket Blush. Rhode obviously launched in Sephora as well, and this pocket blush is something that I begrudgingly think is really amazing. I think when there are products like this that have so much hype around them, I'm just immediately skeptical. I'm like, there's no way it's actually that good and worth all of the hype, but it is really amazing. The formula is super easy to work with. It's very slippy and creamy, which allows for really easy, seamless blending. It's also easy to build up and get this to look very pigmented if you want it to. I've described this before as having a juicy skin finish because I feel like it just like juices things up and makes your skin look really healthy and hydrated, and I cannot stop reaching for this newer shade Tan Lines. They describe this as a pinky tan, and this is the exact type of shade that I have just been obsessed with over the last few months. Like, this is my perfect kind of blush shade right now. It just has that bronzer-like effect that I think is really flattering because it adds warmth and a kiss of color at the same time. If you're not into that, I totally get it. They do have a lot of other really beautiful shades. They have, goodbye. They have pinks, corals, browns, rusty colors, mauves, a lot of great options to choose from. So if you've been curious about this blush, if you've been holding out, wondering if it's actually worth the hype, I do personally think it is, and this shade is just so good. Next is the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm in Stardust, which is their shimmery limited edition holiday launch. They have two different shades slash scents. The first is Milky Way, which is a silver pearlescent shimmer with what they describe as milky candy sweetness, but what I describe as movie theater popcorn. No, I love it. It's so good. And Pink Supernova, which is a sheer pink with gold shimmer and a berry vanilla scent. I like it too, but just not as much as this. So what I love so much about these is that you get a finish that's both shimmery and reflective, but also really juicy and high shine in a formula that's comfortable and not super gritty. When I apply these, I can sometimes feel like a little bit of glitter, but it's so subtle, especially compared to other glittery lip products I've tried recently. What I mostly feel is just a soft, plush, comfy formula. So if you love a super shimmery, high shine lip that just pops, but you're also really particular about textures like me, I highly recommend. Oh, it's just so cute. Last for makeup is the cream blush brush from the brand m.ph. This is also a newly launched brand in Sephora, and if you're not familiar with it, it was started by the makeup artist Mary Phillips, who kind of popularized this technique of underpainting, pretty much because she did it on Hailey Bieber and then everyone was obsessed. And when I first saw this, I was like, this is not really the shape that I would typically reach for a cream blush, but I want to try it because I feel like somebody like that, an artist who's really, an artist who is really known for their application technique of cream makeup specifically, like, I'm curious to try what you would put out for that, and it's amazing. It really just helps to give me a very seamless, easy blend with whatever blush I'm using. The bristles themselves are super soft, and it just feels really intentionally and thoughtfully designed. Like, even the handle, the way that that forces you to hold on to this and the way that that applies pressure, I think is part of the reason why it works so well. So it is officially my new favorite cream blush brush. Last is hair. I have two new favorites. I feel like the launches in high-end hair care specifically have been really slow recently, but well, I was gonna say I have two. I have two products to share. I guess technically only one of them is a new launch, but the other was new to me. Let's start off with the new launch first. It's the Pureology Strength Cure Dream Healer Serum. This is described as a weightless serum that restores hair's virgin-like strength, seals split ends, infuses long-lasting shine, and offers heat protection up to 450 degrees. And this is interesting because they're not using the Pureology Strength Cure formula that is in the shampoo and conditioner, to my knowledge. Pureology specifically actually highlights an amino acid, which I believe is arginine. That's the same amino acid they highlight for the Strength Cure shampoo and conditioner, in addition to citric acid and lactic acid, which they have never highlighted in Pureology Strength Cure before. So I'm looking at this, like on their website still, there's no mention on the Strength Cure shampoo and conditioner of citric acid, and looking at the label, it is towards the top. So I'm like, has that been part of the reason why I have loved that for so long? Like, was that going on here the whole time and we had no idea? I just find that really interesting because Pureology Strength Cure has been around for years and years and years, far before acids like citric acid became really popularized in the repair space. So, if you have been a longtime viewer of my channel, you may have noticed that I do not often recommend serums. And the reason for that is because it's really difficult for me to find serums that I actually enjoy. So I had pretty low expectations for this, but it's actually so, so good. What stands out to me about the texture the most is that it's just a bit less watery than a lot of other serums I've tried recently. So like, for example, the L'Oreal Bond Repair Serum, I found that one to be so watery that it was difficult to apply evenly on my hair, kind of just like dried down really quickly and didn't do much. This maintains really nice slip while still being light. It's just one of those rare serums where I'm like, this is actually helping to smooth, helping to condition, but not as heavy as an oil. And then on top of that, you're getting strengthening benefits as well. I should not have done that because I already have plenty of product in my hair, but I didn't want to waste it. So if you are also someone that feels like a lot of serums just don't really do much for your hair, but you like the idea of adding something for extra conditioning on top of your leave-in spray that is lighter than an oil, this one is really great. Last is Amika's The Shield Anti-Humidity Spray. I recently posted a dry aerosol heat protectant showdown, and if you watch that, you will know that there were so many that I did not like at all. A lot of them left a really heavy residue in my hair that made it look and feel kind of gross. So this was truly one of the only options that not only left a very light amount of residue in my hair, but that also made my hair look smooth and sleek. And the other reason why I'm recommending it is because on top of the 450 degrees of heat protection, it also offers UV and humidity protection, which most of the other dry aerosols did not have. I know a lot of you did not like the smell of the Living Proof Dry Heat Protectant. That really is the whole reason why I did that showdown, because so many of you were like, please give us other options. We don't like the smell. So if you were one of those people, Amika's a really great alternative. All right, you guys, that is it for my top 10 new Sephora VIB sale recommendations. If you're looking for more recommendations and want to see my master list of all of my favorites in every category, again, I will list those videos below along with a shelf that has links to all of my favorites. I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys plenty of time to build your carts this year, so this video is obviously going up ahead of the sale, and then next week will be a Sephora VIB sale haul where I show you guys a haul of everything that I purchased before it was on sale so that I could get the video up in time for you. So stay tuned for that. It'll be up a week from today, and until then, we hope you have a great week.